Pikmin merch, Pikmin train, Pikmin buses and ball games, Pikmin snacks, Pikmin store, really rare Pikmin decor, Pikmin postcard, Pikmin drinks, even better than you think, Pikmin stamps, Pikmin station, Pikmin Festa, celebration, Pikmin fun, and so much more. Come with us and let's explore the JR Kyushu Pikmin collab. You may have noticed that the thumbnail for our Pikmin Bloom journey video says, the biggest Pikmin live event. While that may have been true at the time, with the announcement of the JR Kyushu Pikmin collaboration in late 2024, all of that would change. The Kyushu region is located at the southern edge of Japan's main island, comprising of 7 prefectures: Fukuoka, Saga, Nagasaki, Kumamoto, Kagoshima, Miyazaki, and Oita. Each prefecture is famous for its own customs, environment, and local specialties. And we were fortunate enough to get to go. The JR train line, Japan Railways, is one of the major forms of public transportation throughout the country. JR Kyushu decided to form a partnership with Nintendo to bring about what has become the largest and one of the longest running Pikmin collabs ever done, and it all culminated into the ultimate celebration, the Pikmin Festa. There were 6 Pikmin Festas in total, hosted in different prefectures, and words cannot express how much fun they were, but we'll get to that later.
Naturally, since this collab takes place in Japan, the gigantic website that was created for it was only available in Japanese, often with news updates in the form of PDFs that had to be deciphered one by one. But after a lot of painstaking effort, we were able to slowly piece together what this huge event was all about, and all the secrets, intricacies, and special conditions that were included. Living all the way in the complete opposite side of Japan up in Akita Prefecture, we weren't sure if we would be able to make it there at all. But thanks to both the events spanning a massive 6 months, from December 7th, 2024 to June 30th, 2025, and brother Joey helping to cover our travel expenses during the first leg of the trip, we surprisingly managed to do just about everything related to the event, which is not an easy feat even for those living in Kyushu.
Since we've already put in the hard work, all you need to do is make yourself comfortable as we introduce you to the most incredible and massive Pikmin bonanza the world has ever seen.
Hi, I'm Johnny.
And I'm Janny, and today we are not live whatsoever.
Wait, we don't have time for this right now. We've got to go meet brother Joey, who's waiting for us in the Kyushu region.
Let's go.
For starters, the JR Kyushu train app, which can only be used in Japan, has all kinds of GPS-based stamp rallies that you can do as you travel to various locations within the region. They created a Pikmin-themed digital stamp rally that lasted the full 6 months of the event. With a massive 70 total stamps to collect within the app, it was one of the main draws of the collaboration. 61 of these stamps were made available at stations dotted around all 7 prefectures of Kyushu, spanning several hundreds of kilometers, taking a ton of planning to reach them all. It was so overwhelming that I made my own color-coordinated Google My Maps to keep track of them, changing each symbol to a P as we went. P for Pikmin, of course. Basically, when you get within physical range of one of these participating stations, you can do a GPS check-in through the app. With an orange, pulsing dot appearing when you get within close enough range of the station, it was quite straightforward even if you can't understand Japanese. After checking in, you would get a treasure from Pikmin 4 along with some Pikmin, indicating that you had received it, which you could view afterwards from the collection screen. Unfortunately, the website mentioned that these limited edition stamps, including stamps already collected, would disappear after the campaign ended. Knowing this, we made sure to take plenty of screen recordings of everything to document this small part of Pikmin history before it was lost forever. What then was the point of it all if the treasures would eventually disappear anyway?
Well, first, it was incredibly fun traveling to each station while collecting treasures. We spent about a week in March traveling from Fukuoka to Kagoshima with Joey. Although we didn't get to spend as much time in each area as we wanted to, we did take several detours to see some really fantastic sights along the way. For example, the Dazaifu Tenmangu Shrine in Fukuoka, the Karatsu Castle in Saga, the Nagasaki Peace Park, the Sakurajima Volcano of Kagoshima, and so much more. We needed a lot more time, but we were still satisfied with our small preview of Kyushu. Aside from the thrill of the adventure, there was a way to convert our digital treasures into physical ones, which we will explain in more detail later. Moving over to Pikmin Bloom, at all the same 61 locations as the stamp rally, you'd see a special spot that, when swiped, would give 10 white nectar and a specially designed Kyushu postcard. We've seen special postcards for various in-game events such as the Hidden Gems of Kyoto project, Pikmin Bloom Journey, and a more general live event design as of late. but the JR Kyushu collab currently sets the record for the highest number of unique designs. In total, there were 7 beautifully styled postcards with a different color and Pikmin scene representing each prefecture in Kyushu.
The postcards followed the typical mechanics we've seen at past events, where the Pikmin currently active in your squad would be randomly chosen to appear in it, meaning with some careful planning, you could end up with one looking like this. Hey, Rocky Boy, I can't see the station at all! One last important thing about these 61 stations. Among them were 8 target spots called Kyushu Major Stations. These were the biggest and busiest stations in each prefecture. Saga Station, Nagasaki Station, Kumamoto Station, Kagoshima Chuo Station, Miyazaki Station, Oita Station, and Fukuoka actually had 2, Hakata Station and Kokura Station. If you had the Japanese My Nintendo app and did a GPS check-in at any one of those 8 main stations, you could get a special JR Kyushu Pikmin wallpaper for your smartphone and PC. If you've seen our Seoul tour video, it's the wallpaper I was using on my phone at that time. All of these stations gave the exact same wallpaper, so you only needed to check in once at any one of them to get it. But regardless, they were all a necessary visit if you wanted to complete the stamp rally and collect all the postcards. In addition, they were worth checking out since each of these major stations advertised the JR Kyushu Pikmin collab in various ways, from activity pamphlets that were free to take, TV screens introducing the event, various signages, and lots of photo panels to take pictures at. The major stations were easy to reach considering each one was along the main train lines, and chances are if you're gonna visit Kyushu, you'll pass through one without even trying, making the wallpaper really easy to get. Maybe that's why they decided to include a real challenge. An additional 7 stations, which seem to have been chosen for their almost comical remoteness, were designated as special Pikmin stations. Yeah, the name is a little confusing, they were essentially Pikmin Station stations. At each of these 7 stations, a different Pikmin from the main series was represented. Red, yellow, blue, purple, rock, winged, and ice. Sadly, both white and glow Pikmin were left out this time. Sorry guys. Anyone brave enough to reach these faraway places were rewarded with a station decorated with art related to that specific Pikmin type, and a little challenge to find all the hiding Pikmin. Not only that, but you could get 7 additional wallpapers by checking into the My Nintendo app, each one with the featured Pikmin and name of the station on it, which brings the total to 8 wallpapers to collect as part of the collab. Currently, I have them all set to cycle out hourly on my phone, and I love seeing the different designs and colors pop up on my screen throughout the day. Since the Stamp Rally treasures are set to disappear forever, we wanted to document them at each location. We took the Shinkansen into Fukuoka, meaning Hakata Station will be the first official check-in of the video. We'll be coming back here much later for the Pikmin Festa, but for now let's open up Pikmin Bloom and get our first postcard. Likewise, moving on to the JR Kyushu app, we can get our first treasure, the Stone of Advancement, a Game Boy Advance SP console. Finally, since Hakata is one of the 8 major stations, we can collect our JR Kyushu Pikmin-themed wallpaper so we won't forget to do it later. The website listed Pikmin train photo panels which were available at each main station. The colors actually switched out in March from the white 885 train to the black 787 train design. Aside from those, there were various things inside, like the Pikmin decorating the station name, but there were even more things to see here during the Pikmin Festa, so let's move on for now.
On our custom map, each prefecture is marked in a different color. In addition, you can see the 6 Pikmin Festa locations in yellow and the 7 Pikmin stations in black. For now, let's move on to Saga Prefecture, which are the green locations. The first stop was Tosu Station, where we got the Slipperbug fossil treasure, a kind of trilobite fossil, along with our postcard in Pikmin Bloom. Not far from there was Shintosu Station, which got us the Newtolite shell, an ammonite fossil. The third was Saga Station, one of the 8 major stations, which gave an octopus-shaped sausage named the Octoplus, which is commonly found in Japanese bento boxes. Like Hakata, this station was decorated with Pikmin advertisements and photo spots, but sadly, this was the only one that we didn't have time to look around in. But with some digital editing magic, we can still be there in spirit. Next up was Kuhoku Station, which gave a fish-shaped soy sauce bottle called the Mystery Squish Fish. Branching off to Hizen Kashima Station got us the Faux Fishy Treasure, a kind of Japanese rattle. Backtracking to Takio Onsen Station, we got the Divine Balloon, a beach ball. Next we made a stop at Ureshino Onsen Station and picked up the Unfloatable Boat Treasure, a toy boat. Backtracking yet again, we made the trek to Arita Station for the Space Spinner, a fidget spinner toy. Our last station in Saga Prefecture really puts into perspective how remote the Pikmin stations are. For the Ringled Bluebird treasure, we had to go all the way to the north. Let's see what we found there. It's a rainy day, but we have made it to the first out of 7 Pikmin stations. We are now at Nijino Matsubara. This is the winged Pikmin station, so I'll be the one giving you the tour. Not only do you get a postcard from swiping this special spot, get credit for the JR Kyushu stamp rally, but you also get an exclusive winged Pikmin wallpaper from checking into the My Nintendo app. Well, these stations seem quite remote and this one is particularly small, but let's go check it out.
Winged Pikmin. They can fly in the air. With their prized wings, these Pikmin can carry objects while flying. Their attack power is low, but you can leave aerial battles to them.
Visiting the Pikmin stations was especially rewarding because each one introduced us to parts of Japan we otherwise would likely never see. For example, it was only due to heading all the way to the winged Pikmin station that we were able to visit Karatsu Castle, a hidden fortress high up on a cliff overlooking the sea. For us, this collab wasn't only about visiting stations to collect Pikmin treasures, but to see Japan, the real Japan that not many people get the chance to see. These spots made perfect opportunities to do so.
As fun as traveling to stations and collecting treasures was, less fun was trying to get them before the trains started to take off again. Trains in Kyushu stop for just about 30 seconds, so if you wanted to stay on the train as you passed through several participating stations along the route, you would have just a few seconds to juggle between the two apps before the train started moving again. Things like GPS drift, poor signal, and the special spot radii being just a little too small, I'm not gonna lie, it was extremely stressful at times. And if you're traveling 200 miles per hour on the Shinkansen and it doesn't make a stop at the station you need to swipe, you can just completely forget about juggling the two apps. You'll be lucky to even check in with one. Luckily, only one of the 61 stations was a Shinkansen exclusive. I'm looking at you, Shintamana Station. Since local trains can't go there, we had to take the Shinkansen and specifically make sure it stopped at the station so we would have enough time to check in with both apps. Therefore, we think one big improvement to this event would be increasing the special spot size. If the spot was too small, or the train was too long, or you had just a little bit too much GPS drift, sometimes you would be sitting, completely stopped right at the station, just out of reach of the special spot. That is, until the train started moving again. And when you're in a remote place where the trains come hourly in the direction that you want to go, let's just say it was extremely heart-pounding knowing that if you miss your chance in that moment with weak signal or a game crash, you could kiss that check-in goodbye. I mean, come on, we made it all the way out here in the middle of nowhere. The least they could have done was make sure that the radius completely covered the station and then some. After traveling all that way, it's not like a few extra meters would be game-breaking for the event. It's for this reason that driving from station to station may have actually been the better option for those wanting to collect everything, which goes against the whole point of the collab, you know, riding the trains. Luckily, the JR Kyushu app was typically more reliable. It seemed to have a bigger range of activation than the Pikmin Bloom special spots. On rare occasions, the app would need to be restarted for the orange dot to appear properly, but for the most part, it worked as intended, so collecting the treasures wasn't much of an issue as long as your phone signal was strong enough.
Speaking of collecting treasures, let's take this opportunity to see what we got in Nagasaki prefecture. Heading south from Saga, we found ourselves at Sasebo Station where we got the Aspiration Ritual Ball, the ball part of a Japanese kendama toy. Not far to the south at Haiki Station, the treasure was the Aspiration Ritual Pole, the second half to the kendama toy. Not too far from there was Hausenbos Station, which was built to commemorate Japan's long-standing relationship with the Netherlands. Here we got the priceless bird, a golden origami crane. Next at Chiwada Station, we got the Cupid's Grenade treasure, which is a regular cherry. Continuing south, we made it to Shin Omura Station, where we got a kiwi called the Disguised Delicacy. At the Busy Isahaya Station, we got an apricot called the Searing Acid Shock. Next up was the next major station, Nagasaki Station, again decorated with all kinds of Pikmin inside. This station was unique in that visitors could enjoy both the black and white train photo panels for the entire duration of the event. However, which one you got to see depended on whether you were on the local platform side or the Shinkansen side. Checking in here, we got the Velvety Dream Drop treasure, a loquat fruit. The next day, we woke up very early in the morning to head into the countryside, where we made it to Nagayu Station, which gave a golden kiwi fruit called the Blonde Imposter. Finally, following the tracks parallel to the beautiful Omura Bay, we made it to the next special Pikmin station, where we got the Wayward Moon treasure, a muskmelon. Let's go see!
We woke up super duper early. The sun is just coming up now, and we've made it to Okusa Station. It's home of the Ice Pikmin, and it's so chilly this morning. I feel like Ice Pikmin. Come on, why don't we go inside the station and see what they have here?
Ice Pikmin. They're ice cold. Their bodies are made of ice, and they can freeze water and native creatures. They float on water so they won't drown, but they don't like getting their heads wet.
Of course, we have our 3 things we can do here. First, swiping the special spot, we got our beautiful postcard. I just love collecting more and more of these. Next, opening the JR Kyushu app, we've once again checked in and got our treasure for this location. And finally, there's one more check-in location through the My Nintendo app. Now, if you remember at the other station that we visited, Nijino Matsubara, we unlocked a pink Pikmin wallpaper through My Nintendo. Now, I don't know if we're just not doing it right, but we haven't received it yet. It said you might have to wait up to 24 hours, and we're still not quite to 24 hours, so I guess we'll just keep waiting to see if we can download that. But in the meantime, it still gave us credit in the app, so this is number 2. We should unlock this awesome Ice Pikmin themed wallpaper this time.
So far, we have collected 19 of the 70 total treasures. You might be thinking, if there are 70 treasures to collect and only 61 stations to visit, where do we find the remaining 9 that are unaccounted for? Well, that brings us to the next part of this massive odyssey, the QR code check-ins. These 9 special treasures could only be received by scanning a QR code through the JR Kyushu app at 9 participating locations. Let's start off with the more Pikmin-y ones first. There was a set of 3 different colored Hikoboshi line buses, which we found out received the finishing touches by a group of children who not only got to be a part of Pikmin history, but also got to be the first to get to ride them. All 3 buses shared the same QR code, so it didn't matter which one you rode in terms of checking in, but we'll see more of that later. For now, let's focus on the 787 Black Pikmin train and the 885 White Pikmin train. You can see on the website that these wrapping trains were completely decked out with all kinds of art from the Pikmin series. Of course, they were even more impressive in person as the glossy images shined against the contrast of the black and white exterior of each respective train. The 787 Black train featured the exclusive JR Kyushu art with each prefecture represented. Meanwhile, the white 885 train featured art mostly from Pikmin 4, a lot of which I noticed overlaps with the Nintendo Switch icon art. It wasn't just the outside either. Inside each train car had Pikmin characters hanging out on the walls, windows, and just about everywhere. We even found the same yellow Pikmin holding a cherry that matched my Spow shirt perfectly. It was a lot of fun checking out each car to see what new Pikmin we could find. Unlike the buses, each train had a QR code that would give a different toy train treasure when scanned. The middle management tank car for the 787, and the unlimited locomotive for the 885. But hold it right there. We can't collect the 885 treasure just yet, since we didn't get to ride it until much later. However, we did manage to come across the 787 by pure chance. We thought we had booked a regular express train, but it turned out to be a Pikmin one to our surprise. For now, that's 1 QR code down, 8 to go.
These trains could be found all around Kyushu during the event period. It was important to check the schedule, which was posted 3 days in advance, and book a reservation, as they sometimes completely filled up depending on how busy it was. These QR codes were only used for the JR Kyushu app. There was no postcard or anything rewarded in Pikmin Bloom for riding them. Technically, you don't need to be present physically to scan the QR code. For example, if you were to find an image online, you could scan it and it would work all the same. But in the spirit of the adventure, we were determined to visit each place to find the code ourselves. 4 of these QR codes were earned by riding JR's fancy limited express trains. While they weren't decorated with Pikmin, they each had their own charming style, exciting train enthusiasts from around the country. The special trains chosen for the collab were located to the south of Kyushu, so let's head down to Kumamoto prefecture.
Kumamon is the famous mascot character of Kumamoto, who we've seen on products even as far north as Akita. As you can imagine, he's even more ubiquitous in his home prefecture. Starting things off at Shintamana, the Shinkansen exclusive station mentioned previously, we got a mini Venus de Milo model called the Unfinished Statue. Heading down to the major station of the prefecture, Kumamoto Station, we got a model of the Statue of Liberty called the Lamp of Inspiration. Like the others, this station had the usual train photo panel that we of course took the time to pose at. Right nearby was Suizenji Station, giving the Merciless Extractor, a fruit juicer. Heading to the southern peninsula, we arrived at Misumi Station, where we got the Face Wrinkler treasure, a lemon. We had a couple of hours to kill before taking the train back to Kumamoto Station, so we decided to have a picnic lunch at the nearby park. The A-Train Express is one of the special QR code trains that runs between Kumamoto Station and Misumi Station. It was difficult to reserve a seat while navigating the website, which was entirely in Japanese, but with a little determination, we managed to pull it off.
Look what these little guys have. Their own tickets to ride the A-Train. Let's go hop on aboard and make our way back to Kumamoto City.
You can see the exterior of the train had a more traditional design, which many people stopped to take pictures of. The interior was just as beautiful, and it even departed playing the classic song Duke Ellington's Take the A-Train to set the mood. On the train, sitting on a little plastic stand, was the QR code which got us the double dragon-eyed scope treasure, a cute pair of binoculars.
That looks so good. I love collecting these treasures.
It was a bit more expensive than taking the local train, but it was such a fun experience for both train lovers and Pikmin players alike. Since the QR code was displayed in the window, it seemed like it was made available for anyone to scan it freely from the platforms, but riding the trains was the best for a unique experience. Heading down to Shin Yatsushiro Station got us a citrus lump treasure, an orange. Much further south was Shin Minamata Station, where we got the pocked airhead treasure, a type of Japanese orange called a dekapon. Finally, in order to reach Kumamoto's Pikmin Station, we need to travel back to the remote center of Kyushu, which we would need to come back for later.
Before we leave Kumamoto, let's take a moment to talk about merch. Nintendo produced a ton of exclusive merchandise for this collaboration. A lot of it was actually made available at the regular Nintendo stores in Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, despite those stores being quite a distance away from Kyushu. Perhaps it served as a way to advertise the collab to more people in other parts of Japan. Keep in mind, not all of the exclusive merch was made available at the Nintendo stores, plus a lot of it sold out quickly, giving an advantage to anyone who was able to visit the event in person. The 6 major stations that were chosen to host the Pikmin Festa events, by extension, hosted Pikmin pop-up stores as well. That means every part of Kyushu got to experience the excitement of this once-in-a-lifetime Pikmin party. Except for poor Saga Prefecture, which was left out. It's okay, Saga, you can group up with White and Glow Pikmin and have your own party for cool kids only.
One rather complicated aspect of the collab was that stuff was constantly moving around the region, and it wasn't just the Pikmin trains either. For example, the first Pikmin Festa took place at Amyu Plaza Oita. The festa was essentially a gigantic Pikmin party that lasted for one weekend. In the case of Oita, the event ran from December 7th to 8th, 2024 to kick off the entire JR Kyushu Pikmin collab. While there was a lot to do during the 2 days of a festa, let's just focus on the merch for now. At each venue, there would be an original goods pop-up shop, which would only last until the festa ended. It was a way of bringing both Nintendo Store Pikmin merch and JR Kyushu merch to anyone attending the event. But due to its brevity, there was actually a separate pop-up store at each venue's nearby Amyu Plaza shopping mall. These additional stores would exist anywhere from a couple of weeks to a full month at each location, and were able to serve a lot more people. Regardless of which pop-up store you managed to visit, displayed outside of each one was another special QR code to scan, which would give the live station a toy train station treasure. During our travels, we were able to visit the Amyu Plaza and Kumamoto Station, so let's go see what they have for sale and go get that special QR code.
This is our chance between March 1st and March 31st. It'll be here. May as well go and buy way too much stuff. So why don't we go on inside and head to the second floor.
After buying 2 big bags of merch, there was still one more bonus item we could get our hands on, but it would require us to head over to the nearby Big Camera Electronics store in search of the special promotion.
So because this prefecture, Kumamoto, is currently holding the Pikmin pop-up store, there are a ton of electronic stores all throughout Kumamoto Prefecture which are running a campaign
And the campaign is if you buy one of these Pikmin software, it could be Pikmin 1 and 2, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, or Pikmin 4, you'll get this nice set of Pikmin cards as a kind of bonus. But this particular big camera store, which is within Kumamoto Station, actually gives one bonus prize. So I think, if I'm interpreting it correctly, if I buy a software, I'll be able to get the full set of cards as well as a small Pikmin keychain plushie. So I'm gonna go ahead, buy a surprise present for Joey, and we'll get one of these. Let's go. Well, I was almost correct. So when you buy a copy of the software, yeah, you get a set of the special prefectural cards here in Kyushu. Really cute. To get the small keychain, we're gonna have to show the receipt to the staff at the pop-up shop. And once they can check that, yes, we bought the software, they'll give us one at random. So we'll see what we get. They stamped my receipt, and it's true, it was completely random, and it was Destiny. I got Rocky Boy. Of course, I already have one, but this one, I won't feel so bad about using him. I'll get him dirty. He's gonna be living on my backpack from here on out. In terms of the merch, first up is a special JR Kyushu Pikmin designed clear file. Next, we have two sets of die-cut stickers. The first was the Pikmin prefectural art that we've seen thus far, and the other was a transportation set which included both Pikmin trains and, for some reason, only the pink Pikmin bus. These three vehicles could also be found in the form of acrylic keychains, as well as 3 different rolls of masking tape. There have been a lot of different Pikmin dishware over the years, and this collab introduced 2 more called Hasamiware, a type of traditional porcelain handicraft originating from Hasami Town in Nagasaki Prefecture. The plate and cup were adorned with the JR Kyushu Pikmin designs for each prefecture, and were constantly sold out both in person and the online shop, making it quite the popular product. There were 2 more categories of merchandise that represented all the prefectures. The first was the capsule badges, which could be found in gacha machines exclusively at the Pikmin Festa venues and also inside the Pikmin trains. These sold out quickly, prompting the website to issue several announcements about upcoming restock dates. Finally, 7 of the 8 major stations were turned into acrylic sign keychains, with only Fukuoka's second station, Kokura, not being represented among them. Do you know what that means? That's right, it's time to join the party, little guy. One important note in regards to these keychains is that you had 2 options. You could buy them separately for 880 yen each, or for hardcore collectors, you could buy the full set of 7 for 7,040 yen for the box. If you're good at math, you'll notice that the box for 7 is actually more expensive per keychain. What? There's actually a secret reason for that. When buying a box, you would actually receive 8 keychains, a full set of the 7 main stations, and plus 1 secret keychain at random, of which there were an additional 7, bringing the total to 14 keychains to collect in all. Any guesses what these could be? These 7 keychains actually match the 7 Pikmin stations we've been visiting up to this point. They quickly turned into my favorite JR Kyushu merch since they remind me of all the amazing adventures we had around the region. But there was a bit of a problem if you wanted to collect them all. If you were to buy 7 boxes to get these 7 secret keychains, you would not only get a bunch of duplicate copies of the 7 main stations that you wouldn't really need, but it would end up costing a total of 49,280 yen, about $340. Despite that, even after buying 7 boxes, you'd still need to get lucky without any duplicate secret keychains, since each box comes with a random one. Any Pikmin Bloom player can tell you how rare the legendary Lucky 7 is. The legendary Lucky 7, where you complete a set of decor Pikmin without any duplicates. It has happened to me exactly 1 time in 3 years of playing the game. So in terms of collecting all the keychains, we'll have to come up with a plan B and revisit that later.
Continuing our journey to the southernmost part of Kyushu, Kagoshima Prefecture, we arrived at Izumi Station. Here we got the Dusk Pustul's treasure, a bundle of purple grapes. The name Sendai Station was a little surprising to hear all the way down in Kyushu, but visiting it got us the Dawn Pustul's treasure, a bundle of green muscat grapes. Next was the major station of this prefecture, Kagoshima Chuo Station. Not to be confused with the nearby Kagoshima Station. We got the Juicy Gaggle treasure, a raspberry, and as usual, we spent some time posing at the photo panels. From there, we found the Ibusuki no Tamatebako Limited Express train, which had yet another QR code check-in for the Director of Destiny treasure, a compass. That's 4 down, 5 to go. It had a cool half-black, half-white exterior and ended its journey at Ibusuki Station, where we were able to get the Crimson Banquet treasure, a giant watermelon. We made our way back up north, this time stopping at Kagoshima Station. There we got the lesser mock bottom treasure, a plum. After that, it was time to say goodbye to brother Joey, who was heading back to the US. He hopped on the airport bus to head to Kagoshima International Airport. Meanwhile, Johnny and I continued our journey to the next station. Oh look, there he goes now. Goodbye brother Joey, thanks for everything. Heading to the east, we made it to Hayato Station where we got the mock bottom treasure, a peach. Perhaps the least remote of all the Pikmin stations was just to the north, where we got the Flaky Temptation treasure, a croissant. Let's see what else we found there.
This is the 3rd out of 7 Pikmin stations. We are at Hinatayama Station. I will give you a little hint at which Pikmin is the mascot here. It's one of the original 3. Any guesses? Another hint? It is not Blue Guy. It's actually yellow. One of my favorites. I love his cute little ears there. Swiping the special spot here, we'll get our postcard. Of course, another beautiful, beautiful JR Kyushu postcard. And checking in with the JR Kyushu app. Yes, we've unlocked yet another part of the stamp rally. And finally, being at one of the Pikmin stations, opening the My Nintendo app and doing the GPS check-in there will get us a yellow Pikmin station wallpaper. And we did find out that it does take a full 24 hours to get a hold of those. So finally we've gotten our Ice Pikmin one from last time. So we have now Winged Pikmin, Ice Pikmin, and sometime tomorrow we'll be getting a notification in the app and we'll get our yellow guy. It's a very small station, but it's got a lot of charm. So let's go check it out.
Yellow Pikmin. They love electricity. They're resistant to electricity. They can dig faster than other Pikmin and can be thrown higher. We made our way east towards Miyazaki Prefecture. Along the way, we hit the final station of Kagoshima, Kirishima Jingu Station, where we found the condensed sunshine treasure, a jar of strawberry jam. Passing over into Miyazaki Prefecture, we made it to Miyako Nojo Station. There we got the stellar extrusion, a starfruit treasure. Next up was Minami Miyazaki Station, which gave a papaya treasure called the Seed Hive. Right next to it was Miyazaki Station itself, the major station of the prefecture. First, it's time to say cheese. The name of the station, decorated with Pikmin, could be seen in a nice frame up on the wall. There was also an advertisement for the next Pikmin Festa and pop-up store location, which took place in April. As we continued on, we noticed things got a little more tropical, and not just in regards to the tropical fruit treasure we had been getting either. Continuing the theme, we got the Heroine's Tier treasure, a bright red mango. The next special limited express train could also be found here, the Umisachi Yamasachi that runs between Miyazaki Station and Nango Station to the south. We had some lucky timing and managed to scan the QR code for the Detective's Truth Seeker, a magnifying glass, which puts us over the halfway point for these special treasures. Just south from there was the next Pikmin station that gave the Fire-Breathing Feast treasure, a dragon fruit. Let's go see.
We have made it to Kodomo no Kuni Station. It's a blue Pikmin station. It's actually the 4th Pikmin station that we visited, so aside from getting the special postcard, checking into the JR Kyushu app, we're also getting a special My Nintendo wallpaper. Now this station is small like all the other ones, but there's so many things going on here, so let's go explore this little town.
Blue Pikmin. Water is no problem for them. They don't drown, even underwater. They can carry objects found in the water and swim to attack shoreline creatures.
One additional note about these special Pikmin stations is that located at each one was a free walking course that participants could join at any time during the specified date range. Some of the courses were unmanned and some had reception where you had to check in. Some of the courses went around in a loop and ended at the beginning, while others had a different endpoint. Each course came with its own map, but participants were free to come and go as they pleased. There was no walking staff to guide the way. Each covered a wide variety of distances, some taking around an hour to finish, while others took as long as 3. At various points along each of these courses was another type of GPS check-in, unrelated to the ones up until now. Anyone who was able to check into at least 5 of the 7 courses could enter into a lottery. 20 lucky winners would receive a Pikmin stainless steel bottle, and 20 other lucky winners would receive a Pikmin picnic sheet. Sadly, we were unable to participate in any of the courses ourselves, so we won't have the chance to win the prizes from that particular lottery, but there's still a chance for us to win some goodies of our own.
It's finally time to learn about the main draw of the Pikmin Stamp Rally, how to convert our digital treasures into physical ones. Just like the walking course lottery, there was a separate one you could enter depending on how many stamps you were able to collect before June 30th, 2025. After collecting 5 of the 70 stamps, you could enter to win one of 100 original rubber coin cases. With 10 stamps, 50 lucky participants had the chance to win the same picnic sheet from the walking course. Likewise, after collecting 25 stamps, 35 winners would get the same stainless steel water bottle as awarded in the walking course. Finally, with 50 or more stamps, the big prizes come out, with 2 types of cushions available. You could enter to win either the 787 black train pillow or the 885 white train pillow, of which there were 5 winners each. Anyone bold enough to collect all 70 stamps could enter the raffle, and 5 extremely lucky winners would get a JR Kyushu Pikmin dish set, with 7 plates in all, each one representing the prefectures we know so well by now. This dish set is not to be confused with the Hasamiware plate introduced earlier, which was a single plate with all the prefectures on it. The downside is, regardless of how many stamps were collected, participants could only enter the raffle for one of the prizes, so the only way to potentially win more than one prize would be if you entered both the walking course raffle and the stamp rally one. I really want that dish set, and so far we've only collected 42 of the 70 stamps that we need for it, so let's keep going.
From here, the journey was simple. We just had to keep traveling in a straight line all the way up to Oita. Stopping at Saduara Station, we got the scaly custard treasure, an avocado. Next at Takana Bay Station, we found the slapstick resin treasure, a banana. At Hyugashi Station, we got our hands on the puzzle snack treasure, a delicious pretzel. The final treasure in Miyazaki could be found at Nobeoka Station, giving the cushion cake treasure a waffle. With all these food-based treasures, I'm feeling a bit hungry, so let's take a look at all the amazing snacks they made specifically for this collab.
Among all the merch, the Pikmin proudly advertised specialty snacks of each prefecture of Kyushu. For example, Fukuoka, famous for its strawberries, was represented by this Amao strawberry pudding. There were strawberries inside for a bonus blast of flavor. Also representing the prefecture was Irohaya's Kompeito snack, Japanese star-shaped sugar candy. Red, yellow, and blue Pikmin were displayed on each box, which all had different flavors as well. Red was strawberry, yellow was cocoa, and blue was lemon flavored. They were all good in their own way, but I think strawberry was my favorite this time. Representing Nagasaki was some incredible castella pudding. It came with a packet of brown sugar to sprinkle on top. The combination gave it a kind of creme brulee flavor. It's a tough choice, but this one was probably our favorite of all the snacks. For Kumamoto, there was a box of brown sugar donuts. Each smaller box was decorated with a different color of Pikmin: red, yellow, blue, rock, winged, and purple. These soft donuts were, well, what can I say, they were definitely brown sugar flavored, and another favorite of ours. Oita, famous for its hot springs, included a set of Pikmin-themed bath salts that, while should not be eaten, could still be consumed in the form of a relaxing bath, each one with a different scent. In the snack department was a package of dried kabosu peels. Kabosu is a kind of citrus similar to a lime that is famous throughout the prefecture. Its sour flavor was offset by its sugary coating, giving it a nice balance, perfect for a boost of vitamin C. There was also a lovely box set of 2 types of gummies, a blue ramune flavor and a white kabosu flavor. These were sold out when we visited the pop-up store, but we managed to order some off the official website. I'm glad we did, because both types had, well, I don't really know how to describe it, but like a high-quality fruit snack kind of flavor that felt like it was kind of melting in your mouth. From Miyazaki, there were dried snacks called gobochi, which are chips made from burdock. They were crunchy like potato chips, but had a more natural flavoring. There was also green tea packaged with Pikmin, which had a very strong and fresh scent. We're used to drinking regular store-bought green tea, but the Pikmin one had a much richer flavor by comparison. Although the website lists this next one as originating from Miyazaki, the packaging not only shows an image of the Kagoshima Pikmin logo, but Kagoshima is also known for its sweet potatoes, making the website's classification even more confusing. Regardless, this was a pack of kiraimo, sweet potatoes coated in caramel. There were 3 flavors, all of which were great, but we both liked the plain flavor the best, which was coated with a sweet glaze. There was also a matcha flavor and kabosu flavor, which were also good in their own ways. Lastly, Kagoshima got 2 types of snacks. The first was Sakurajima magma cookies, which were based off of the volcano mentioned earlier. With some kind of crushed nuts inside, it also became a personal favorite of mine. There was also a crumbly sweet potato leaf pie snack, which was definitely closer to a cookie than a pie, but still sweet and delicious all the same. There was actually a small bonus with our purchase as well. Inside each box for the Sakurajima magma cookies, gobochi burdock chips, and the sweet potato leaf pies was a bonus Pikmin themed sticker with different designs representing the snacks. There was also the ultimate treat that combined a bunch of Kyushu specialty foods into one. A bento box you could buy for 1600 yen at major train stations throughout the event, and according to a friend, apparently could be found at some airports as well. Sadly, only the packaging was Pikmin themed, which was a little disappointing. It would have been nice if the food was decorated with Pikmin as well. One food that was decorated with Pikmin, we unfortunately never got the chance to try. It was a Nagasaki Festa exclusive Pikmin pork bun set branded with the 3 original Pikmin. It was made available for online purchase after the Festa, but we found out about it a little late and it was sold out every time we checked the website all the way up until June 30th. Regardless, we were so happy to have been able to try so many other Kyushu specialty snacks, all thanks to Pikmin. We finally reached Oita Prefecture and made our way to Saiki Station. There we got the Contemplation Station treasure, a model of the Thinker statue. Continuing north, we made it to Usuki Station, giving the Buddy Display treasure, a picture frame featuring 2 dogs. At Tsudasaki Station, we got the terrifying no mask, often used in traditional Japanese theater, called the Expression Hider treasure. Finally, we arrived at the major station of the prefecture, Oita Station. After an entire week of traveling all around Kyushu, we finally made it to the point where this collab all began at that first Pikmin Festa back in December 2024. Although we were already too late for the Festa or pop-up store, we were able to see the decorations and photo panels still proudly on display. Of course, checking in, we also got the Zest Bomb treasure, a lime.
It was time for us to cut across back into Kumamoto to reach the Pikmin station we previously skipped over. There, we got the Insect Condo treasure, a red apple. Let's go check it out.
So much has happened. Back up. Okay, first, we are at Miyagi Station. This is the red Pikmin station. This is in the middle of absolutely nowhere, smack dab in the center of Kyushu, and our 5th in total, only 2 more to go. So you know the drill. We arrived, we swiped the special spot, we got our postcard. It's, as always, very beautiful. Then we opened the JR Kyushu app and we checked in. Okay, we got our latest treasure. And third, being a Pikmin station, we opened up the My Nintendo app. What did we get? Well, first of all, we actually finally got our yellow Pikmin wallpaper from 24 hours ago. And now we've just got unlocked our red Pikmin wallpaper. And I was trying to find the Kawasemi Yamasemi train line. And I was searching online, I was trying to translate the Japanese. I couldn't find any information about it, not the schedule, not the route. I'm like, where am I supposed to find this train to get the QR code from it? It turns out it's just pasted up on the wall inside here. So my guess is that that train is actually out of service right now. Maybe maintenance, or maybe it's just out of season, switching seasons. Regardless, the QR code just chilling right in there. So there's one more super rare one to go. We only have one more train to take. There's 13 red Pikmin to find here. Let's go check them out.
Red Pikmin. Leave the fighting to them. They're resistant to fire, and their strong attack power makes them reliable in battles with native creatures.
It turns out, starting March 15th, 2025, just a few days after our arrival, the Kawasemi-Yamasemi's regular operation was discontinued. It's still somewhat in use, but given its rarity, the organizers had to figure out some way to fairly provide players access to the special QR code on board. Otherwise, anyone doing the event after March 15th, like us, would be completely locked out of one of the treasures. Their solution was to place it inside Miyagi Station, one of the endpoints of the limited express train. After scanning it, we got the temporal mechanism treasure, a pocket watch. With that, we collected 6 of the 9 QR codes. However, it would be a couple months later before we would have the chance to get the final 3, the White 885 Pikmin train, the Hikoboshi Pikmin bus, and the Pikmin Festa venue. At this point in our journey, it was time to start thinking about heading back to Akita. But before that, we wanted to get as many stations as we could on our way out. The Pikmin Festa we were planning to attend was the final one, held May 31st to June 1st at Hakata Station in Fukuoka. Our strategy was to save the stations around that area for last so they would be easily reachable during our short final visit.
From Kumamoto Station, we headed north, finally crossing back into Fukuoka. First, Chikugo Funagoya Station gave the Dimension Converter, a pair of 3D glasses. Next at Kurume Station, we got the Creativity Conduit treasure, an SNES mouse. Continuing north to Futsukaichi Station, we found the Masterpiece Plank, a lost Game Boy Advance cartridge for the game Shin Onigashima. Heading up to Kashi Station, we found another Game Boy Advance game, this time for Kurukuru Kururin, which was called the Spinning Memories Plank. Making our way east, we arrived at Oreo Station, where we got the Connection Detector, a red Nintendo Switch Joy-Con. Not far away was Kurosaki Station, where we found the missing blue Joy-Con to the pair, the Telekinesis Detector treasure. After all this time, we finally arrived at the last major station of the collab, Kokura Station. Fukuoka is the most populated prefecture in Kyushu. I think given that, and the fact that the Pikmin trains that pass over this route start in Hakata and end in Kokura, this station got some special treatment and was upgraded to major station status, despite Fukuoka already having one. However, it was a little different in that it didn't have the station's name on the photo panel. Of course, we also checked in to get our treasure here, the Life Controller, which is an NES Classic Edition controller. Finally, we reached Mojiko Station and got the Micromanagement Station treasure, a gold Game Boy microsystem. It was a long journey with a ton of travel by train, and we were completely exhausted, albeit satisfied with everything we were able to do and see up to that point. Especially after carrying all our luggage around, we were ready to go home, rest up, and plan our trip for the second half. Until then, we were proud to have collected 60 of the 70 total treasures. Remaining were 7 more train stations to visit across Fukuoka and Oita, and 3 more QR codes to scan. For now, it was time to take the Shinkansen back home. There, we waited for the pinnacle event of the entire collab, and perhaps even the Pikmin franchise as a whole, the Pikmin Festa at Hakata Station.
Months passed, and finally, it was time. On Friday, May 30th, a day before the festa began, we flew into Hakata Airport. We arrived just in time to make it for a reservation of the 885 White Pikmin train that would end in Kokura Station. With the QR code scanned, the limited locomotive toy train treasure was at last all ours. There were just 2 more QR codes left and 9 treasures to collect in total. From there, we headed south to Yukuhashi Station, where we got the Glinty Circular Disc treasure, a GameCube disc titled Wave Race Blue Storm. Time was running out and it was now or never. We had to make it all the way to Beppu Station and back before the last scheduled train of the night. We once again passed into Oita Prefecture. Next was Nakatsu Station, where we got the Tremendous Sniffer treasure, a green pear. At Uza Station, we found the Portable Sunset treasure, a persimmon. And just like its name, the sun was setting fast. Finally, by nightfall, we had reached Beppu Station, famous for its hot springs, just in time to see a 787 Pikmin train roll to a stop. We only had a little time here to take a quick look around. After collecting our 65th treasure, a fig called the Delectable Bouquet, it was time to go back to Hakata Station.
We made it back to Hakata just in time, taking the last train of the night. Come morning, our lives would change forever as we experienced the tremendous joy of the festa. It was time for everything to come together in Fukuoka for one last Pikmin bonanza, and everyone was invited! Well, except for you guys, but it looks like you still have your own party going on.
There is so much to do in here. We've got some Pikmin goodies, some food and drinks. We have a Pikmin pop-up shop and also a Pikmin original goods merch store. We have a Pikmin ball game, a Pikmin 4 demo booth, and there are prizes to be had, there's merch to buy, there's all kinds of activities to do. I'm really excited, so let's get going.
As soon as we entered the venue area, we were bombarded with Pikmin decorations. Flags showed us the way to the pop-up store, advertisements on pillars played the Pikmin 4 trailer, and a huge screen hanging over everything promoted the event to those passing by. And the Pikmin song. The Pikmin song. No matter where you went, you could hear the Pikmin song. You know which one, the one they sing in Pikmin 4. It was playing on loop, over and over and over, which you might think would get annoying after a while, but I loved every second of it. It was like we were in the perfect Pikmin purgatory. It played on loop so many times, I don't think I'll ever be able to hear it again without remembering all the wonderful memories we made at the Festa.
We weren't the only ones who thought the Festa was big news. We saw some TV cameras set up and interviewers asking participants questions about the event. We even witnessed this particular one make it into the final cut. JR Kyushu station masters would gather for each Festa, but for this final one, all the station masters in the region came to challenge participants one last time in the ball throwing game. When opening Pikmin Bloom at any of the Pikmin Festas, it would prompt a very special spot challenge mission to complete. Let's go unlock that now.
The Pikmin Festa is the only place you can get the red Pikmin with a gold ticket decor. This is completely separate from the regular train ticket decor. So upon coming here in the GPS zone, we will unlock a spot challenge. Simply walk 1,000 steps and you'll get a seedling for the gold train ticket decor. It's so rare. It's one of the rarest decors in the whole game. And this is only the 6th time it has ever been made available. After this event, who knows? Maybe it'll become a rare decor, maybe they'll give it out at some other event, we don't know. But for now, we got our hands on this final Pikmin. I'm so glad about that. All right, let's go see what else they got.
Out of the 3 Hikoboshi line Pikmin buses, they brought the blue one to Hakata Station for people to take photos of and have easy access to the QR code inside. We got to ride one for real the following day, but for now let's have a look around and collect the second to last QR code treasure that we need, the Leisure Car, a toy train caboose. With that, there's just one last QR code to scan, and it's not far away at all.
This is actually the last QR code that we need. These are only available at the weekend of Pikmin Festa. This is one of the rarest QR codes. So after tomorrow, you can't get this anymore.
Scanning it got us the Winged Freedom Sculpture Treasure, a Wavebird wireless GameCube controller, leaving just 3 more treasures to find at stations.
Each Festa event had various food stalls set up. In Hakata, the shop on the left was Amatoya, which included a Pikmin tapioca drink stand that was brand new this time. We got there early and were actually the very first in line to try these new products. There were 2 flavors, strawberry and milk tea, and the cups were cutely decorated with Pikmin. Don't even think about it, Johnny.
Aww.
Both flavors were excellent. In fact, they were even better than you might think. That's because with every purchase, you would get a special Pikmin sticker with Amatoya's logo on it, with 3 different styles to collect. The catch was, these were given in a silver-colored blind pack, so you wouldn't know which ones you'd be getting. But surely, with 3 stickers in the set, we wouldn't be getting any duplicates with our 2 purchases. Right? Well, that's okay. Even with our bad luck, we managed to get the other 2 on Mercari.
Still, that wasn't the end of the special stickers. At the Nintendo Switch booth, participants could try a 10-minute demo of Pikmin 4. Always taking any opportunity to play more Pikmin, we lined up. There were some pamphlets and sun visors that were free to take while waiting. There was also a familiar-looking photo spot that we saw once before at the Pikmin Bloom tour in Kyoto. After our demo trial ended, the staff handed us a sticker with the JR Kyushu Pikmin logo on it. Next, going inside Hakata Station, there was a giant TV screen that would cycle through different Pikmin videos and advertisements for the Festa. One of them was an emergency mission. There were 3 questions. By taking the missing Japanese letter of each answer and combining them, a secret keyword could be spelled out. The first question was easy. What is the name of this Pikmin? Winged Pikmin, of course, which we know is called Hane Pikmin in Japanese. So the first part of the secret code is Ha. Question 2 asked, where are these Pikmin? Do you remember which prefecture is famous for its sweet potatoes? That's right. The answer is Kagoshima, meaning the second secret character is Ka. The third and final question asked, in the Pikmin JR Kyushu bento box, what ingredient is on top of the rice, with an arrow pointing to a fishy looking thing? Luckily, Gianni knew what it was, making the last answer mentaiko in Japanese. The missing character being ta means we discovered the secret keyword. All we had to do was track down a staff member and say, Hakata! And they gave us each a sticker with 3 walking Pikmin.
There was still more to do, but it was time to meet up with our friends. We all reserved tickets to ride the 787 Pikmin train from Hakata to Kokura Station and back again. The Pikmin trains were even more special than usual during the weekend of a festa. Many people saw us off while waving printed Pikmin flags that we also noticed were used by the school children during the debut of the Pikmin buses. There were special Pikmin-related announcements as well as Pikmin 4 background music playing on board. The train staff came by to hand out a commemorative boarding pass specifying the date range of the festa.
One interesting thing about this boarding pass is that the design differed slightly between events. Here's the one we got in Fukuoka, and here's the one from Kumamoto I bought off Mercari, which shows both types of trains as well as a different date range on it. With the gacha machines fully stocked up, we all took turns trying our luck. We even managed to get a full set of capsule badges after swapping with our friends. It's one more thing to remind us of all the places around Kyushu we managed to visit. It was so much fun getting to ride a Pikmin train one last time, and even more fun we had the chance to go with our friends. Special thanks to Ame-chan man who reserved our tickets for us. Speaking of tickets, they were special in that they actually distinguished that they were for the Pikmin train and had Pikmin written on them in Japanese. Normally, you'd insert the ticket into the gate, which would destroy it, but another option is to have a staff member stamp it instead, so you can keep it as a souvenir. Back at the festive venue, it was time for what was possibly my favorite part of the whole event. In doing so, we could earn the final exclusive sticker, but getting it was also the most difficult of all. We had to win the ball throwing game. There were 2 lines for this. Anyone arriving at the venue could just line up to play the game, but those who had the JR Kyushu app were able to enter the priority line, which was much faster. The staff confirmed our status by taking a look to see if we had scanned the Festa's QR code. With the Wavebird controller collected as proof, we were allowed to enter the fast lane. At the entrance, we were briefed on the rules. First, we had to choose a team, red, yellow, or blue, and wear the corresponding Pikmin sun visor. Next, we had to throw only our team's color of balls into the basket. Each team had 2 baskets to fill. One was wider and easier to aim for, while the other was higher up and narrower, therefore requiring more precise aim. Each set of baskets was linked to a different Pikmin enemy that had to be taken down. A watery blowhog for blue team, a bearded amp rat for yellow team, and a bulborb for red team. Once there were enough balls in the baskets to weigh down the balance, a series of pulleys would take down the enemy. The teams that were able to do so within the 3-minute time limit would get to go home with a very special Mission Completed sticker. For those who weren't as lucky, you could always wait in line and try again. Our group ended up joining the blue team. It was easy at first, but as less and less easily reachable balls remained, some mistakes were made. Oops. But in the end, our team was the first to complete the mission. Next, we joined forces to help the yellow team take down their enemy. With the red team on the opposite side, it was hard to tell if our balls were reaching the basket, but we tried our best, and finally, just a few seconds before time was up, Chappie the Bulborb fell defeated. With all 3 teams successful, it was a full mission clear. The staff got to work pushing and mixing the balls for the next round while we claimed our beautiful sticker prize.
We decided to stop by the pop-up store to compare it to Kumamoto's. There was a brief wait to get in due to the number of people, but overall the products were essentially the same as before. We were mostly looking for the Hasamiware cup, but it was unfortunately sold out. Still, the store had a few unique decorations that made it worth checking out. Aside from the cup, there's one more JR Kyushu Pikmin item that we still don't have. And that's because it won't be released until this fall. That's the 885 Pikmin model train, which was actually on display at the Festa outside the original goods shop. We'll have to wait until September 27th to have one more thing to remember this event by. It was time to end the day by taking some pictures at the Hakata Station photo spot. Each Festa had one to take part in, with the option to wear different types of Pikmin headgear, though we decided to keep proudly representing the blue team.
Sadly, we couldn't attend the Festa on the second day because it was our last chance to reach the final 3 stations before heading back to Akita. We woke up early, bought the last 2 Pikmin bentos in stock, and headed into the countryside where Soeda Station was waiting for us. Although it wasn't a check-in location for the stamp rally, it was the place where the 3 Pikmin buses could be found. Well, 2 this time since the blue one was being used at the Festa. The buses left Soeda Station at the same time each day at 11:30 a.m. Sure enough, the green Pikmin bus rolled up right on schedule. We thought it would be busier due to it being the Festa weekend, but it was so remote that there weren't many other passengers. We weren't planning to ride it for the entire journey. That's because one of its stops was a Pikmin station. In fact, it was the only station out of all 61 that was exclusively used for buses instead of trains. There, we got the Soul Reverberator treasure, a guitar effect pedal. After paying 450 yen, we watched our beautiful Pikmin bus drive away. This bus goes all the way to Hita Station, which is also part of the JR Kyushu collab, so we want to eventually get to Hita Station. But right in between Soeda Station and Hita Station is actually this one, Chikuzen Iwaya Station. This is the Rock Pikmin Station, one of the 7 special stations here as part of the collab. And I think they chose Rock Pikmin for this one because Iwa is in the name here, and it means rock in Japanese, or stone. And they've got a big rock over there with a couple rock Pikmin on it. So it seems, aside from the rock Pikmin up on the big rock there, and the decorations you can see behind me, I think that's all that there is. I took a walk around and didn't see much else, but it's still a very beautiful small station nestled here in the mountains. Of course, opening Pikmin Bloom, we got our third to last postcard by swiping the special spot. And popping over to the JR Kyushu app, we got our third to last GPS check-in, only 2 more stations to visit for that. And of course, given that this is one of the 7 special Pikmin stations, we opened the My Nintendo app, and in 24 hours we will get our Rock Pikmin wallpaper. Really excited to put that one on my phone. And luckily for us, this morning we managed to snag the last 2 Pikmin bentos. So we're gonna enjoy that today. It's about an hour wait. Let's dig in. Rock Pikmin. They're as tough as can be. Their bodies are made of rock. They can smash glass walls with a headbutt, and on land they won't be crushed even if stepped on.
We were hoping the pink Pikmin bus we saw earlier would come to pick us up, but sadly, it didn't. We got off at Hita Station where we got the Crunchy Deluge treasure, an Asian pear. After posing as the eye in Hita, we took the train to the final Pikmin station, the final stamp rally location, and our final goal of the whole event. Let's go get the last treasure, a Daruma doll aptly named the Persistence Machine.
And just like that, our JR Kyushu collab adventure has come to an end. We are here now at the final station, Bungo Mori. I really enjoyed seeing all these different stations. I feel so accomplished having seen them all. So swiping the special spot here will get us our last bonus postcard in Pikmin Bloom. Our JR Kyushu check-in turns gold, pure gold, shining gold. Hopefully we'll win something, at least something from all these stamps. But even if we didn't, it's still just incredible seeing that beautiful gold border. And finally, given that this is the final special Pikmin station for Purple Pikmin here, we've checked in the My Nintendo app, and in 24 hours we'll get our last wallpaper. Well, let's just go see the station. Head on out.
Purple Pikmin. They're big and strong. One has the strength of 10 Pikmin. They're also 10 times heavier, and when thrown, they create a shockwave. However, they're slow on their feet. With that, we could finally enter the raffle. Instead of cannibalizing our potential winnings by both choosing the dish set, we decided to divide and conquer. I selected the dish set, while Gianni set her sights on the black 787 cushion, both of which have 5 potential winners. With any luck, we'll get one of those prizes, and with a lot of luck, we'll get both. But we won't know until the prizes are sent out after August. We'll be diligently checking the mail around then.
Well, now that we've seen everything there is to see with the JR Kyushu Pikmin collab, what would you say was your favorite part?
I think my favorite part was the Pikmin Festa. Not only did Johnny and I do it together, our friends were also there. We did the ball throwing game together. It was so much fun doing it as a team. We were first in line to get the boba drink. That was so fun. And of course, the Pikmin train, we did the Pikmin train ride together. So yeah, overall it was just so much fun.
Yeah, the Pikmin Festa was so much more fun than I thought it was going to be, and I already thought it was going to be like maximum fun. And somehow, like, I was really looking forward to the ball throwing game the most out of everything. And it does turn out, yeah, that was my favorite part. I loved that game. That was so much fun. Wouldn't you agree? This is like, I mean, the scale of this Pikmin event was just insane. And I think our fun has also scaled with that.
Yeah.
And it was just so fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
So much fun. Like, as soon as I saw that website for the first time and all there was to do, I'm like, this is impossible. It's Kyushu's too far away. We're never gonna get to do it all. And we did.
We made it back to Hakata just as the Festa came to an end. According to the wait times the official JR Kyushu Pikmin Twitter page posted, it seemed like this final event had the most participants out of all the Festas, which is to be expected both due to how populated Fukuoka is, as well as it being the final hurrah of the collab. The Amatoya stickers give us some insight into just how popular the event was. You see, while on the first day they were distributed with silver packaging, it seems that at some point they ran out. According to some people I talked to, the stickers given out on the second day had brown paper packaging with an Amatoya logo sticker on it, but the secrets run even deeper than that. As you can see, any stickers given out on the second day were of a much lower quality than the first set. It looks like they were made by a home printer and hastily cut out, as evidenced by the backside, which had the pattern of some kind of sticker paper, and the uneven cuts around the edges indicating scissors were used to cut them by hand. My guess is that they vastly underestimated how many stickers they would need to produce for the event. So instead of not giving anything out on the second day, someone, somewhere, was hard at work handmaking these additional ones. I love the idea of there being an official bootleg Nintendo product, so I couldn't resist scooping these up on Mercari to have a truly full collection of the Amatoya stickers, with all 6 types included. Before wrapping this video up, there's one final thing to talk about. Remember the problem with collecting all the secret keychains? Well, guess what? Here's probably the rarest thing in my entire Pikmin collection, a full set of them. My plan was simple. I bought one box at the pop-up store and got Miyagi's red Pikmin station as the secret keychain. And then I bought the rest off Mercari. They weren't cheap, but it was certainly cheaper than buying 7 boxes and inevitably ending up with a bunch of duplicates and begrudgingly buying the ones I was missing off Mercari anyway. Now I get to take these out from time to time, take a good look at them, and remember all the fond memories we made on this crazy adventure. Someday we'll get to revisit Kyushu again and see the many places missed the first time around. Just like that, it was all over. The staff packed up the Pikmin Festa for the last time. I'm so glad we were able to experience such a unique part of Pikmin history. In mid-June, the 885 White Pikmin train ceased operation. On June 15th, the pop-up store closed its doors. On the 30th, the stamp rally was no more. Not long later, the Black 787 Pikmin train made its final stop. In the meantime, we'll be waiting for our next Pikmin adventure, wherever it may take us. Until then, thank you for coming with us this time, and we'll see you again sometime soon.
See you.
Bye-bye.